Hello friends. I wasn't planning to record an episode today. I sometimes say that, but today is really the day when it's worth recording. It's really worth recording today. And honestly, the news is so wonderful that I just want to sit here and smile at the camera. But let's talk. Because today, the Security Service of Ukraine carried out a large-scale operation called Web and struck the Olenia airfield, the base for Russian strategic aviation, with drones. As of now, there is a massive fire raging there, a very large fire. And now I'll share my thoughts on this. But first, I urge you to donate for kamikaze drones for the Ukrainian military. This is very important. Subscribing to my channel is also important. And let's just enjoy this footage. I'll continue.
This is how the Belaya airfield looks right now, strategic enemy aviation.
Everything was covered in smoke at first, just a little bit. There were people standing on the roadsides too. Honestly, it's actually pretty scary. Some people are saying that the drones, maybe some of our traitors are launching them or something like that. In short, there are just huge explosions here. It started burning even more and more intensely, like 4 times as much as before. Look closely at what's truly happening right now. I honestly don't even know what exactly just exploded at this very moment.
War has started here in Olenegorsk. It's hard to see over there. Probably behind that forest there's smoke billowing right here, right now. And the most interesting thing is there's a truck parked at the entrance to Olenegorsk. We are standing on the highway, not far from Olenegorsk, near the Kurinaya River. There's the bridge over there. And the truck is parked at a gas station in Olenegorsk. The driver arrived, he's running around, frantic drones are flying out from under the truck and heading toward Vysoky. The traffic police have just detained him. He says, I was told to come to this spot, that someone would meet me. He arrived, and the drones started flying out one after another. There was just a lot of gunfire like that. Machine guns are firing, rockets too. But for now, we still have communication.
So friends, judging by the video, FPV drones were used. And this is something I've mentioned many times before. FPV drones have enormous potential for development. They can be used both as a means of striking on the front lines and as a tool for carrying out special operations deep behind Russian occupiers' lines. In fact, that's apparently exactly what happened today. But let's go through everything step by step. Today, around 1:30, reports started coming in that Olenia airfield was on fire. God, how wonderful that sounds. Just the fact that you can say Olenia airfield is on fire, that's already amazing. Then some more details emerged. At least 40 Russian aircraft were hit, including the A-50, which is an airborne early warning and control aircraft. The Russians have literally only a couple of those left in working condition. Tuesday 95 and Tuesday 22 M3. The Tuesday 95 is a Russian strategic aviation aircraft, which among other things launches Kh-101 missiles. The Kh-101 missiles are the ones the Russians used to strike our energy infrastructure. They attacked our cities many times with these missiles. They have an enormous range, and it was also with the Kh-101 missile that Russian degenerates struck the Okhmadit Children's Hospital in Kiev last summer. The Tuesday 22 M3 is also a Russian strategic bomber, which carries the Kh-22 or Kh-32 missile. The Kh-22 or Kh-32 missile is a very inaccurate missile. It is designed to destroy aircraft carriers and has a deviation radius of about 600 meters. So accuracy is not a factor here at all. And it is precisely these missiles that the Russians have used to strike Ukraine. They struck a residential building in Dnipro, a residential building in Uman, and the Amstor shopping center. And it is the Tuesday 22 M3 that launches these missiles, which also burned today. Their burning new videos are appearing right now as I'm recording this episode for you. God, how beautiful this is. Simply wonderful. So, about the operation itself, friends, without exaggeration, I can probably say that this is the largest and most important operation of the entire Russian-Ukrainian war. An operation of this kind because the losses for the enemy are colossal. But what's even more important is not how much financial damage was inflicted on the occupiers, because overall it's about $2 billion. What matters is that for the Russians, all these bombers are an irreplaceable resource. In other words, they can't build new ones, and most likely they won't be able to restore them. Every loss of each such aircraft is extremely painful. Previously, our soldiers, including those from the main intelligence directorate, had shot down and destroyed Tuesday 22M3S. But as far as I know, a Tuesday 95 had never been hit before. And these are probably the first such truly painful losses for the occupiers. In addition, friends, I need to explain that Russian strategic aviation and the Tuesday 95 in particular are part of Russia's nuclear triad. What does this mean? They are capable of launching nuclear weapons. For the Russians, these are extremely important aircraft because they provide the so-called Russian Federation with that very nuclear shield. And now, in fact, they have taken a hit to one of the components of this nuclear triad. They might not have taken this hit, and most likely wouldn't have if they hadn't used this aircraft for missile strikes against Ukraine. So now, the Russians are undoubtedly going to do a significant amount of whining. They will howl a great deal, and they'll be burning even more intensely than these planes. I sincerely hope that even more of them burn, perhaps even to ashes. So get ready. The Russians are going to have a meltdown of cosmic proportions. But what's also important is the foreign policy context. Today is Sunday. Tomorrow is Monday, the 2nd of June. And a new round of Russian-Ukrainian negotiations is supposed to take place in Istanbul. We've already talked a lot about this, about that ragtag delegation the Russians sent there. But right now, the Russians are definitely finding themselves in a very awkward foreign policy position. Because for the Russians, showing up to these negotiations after the strikes on Alenia would be an act of self-humiliation. But if they refuse to participate, that would mean falling out with Donald Trump. And the Russians don't want either of those outcomes. As a result, they are now caught in a kind of zugzwang. They have to make a decision, and whichever decision they make will not be to their advantage. So friends, I want to thank the Security Service of Ukraine. Exactly a month ago, I thanked the Security Service of Ukraine for saving my life when there was an attempt on me. But today I thank the SBU warriors for organizing such a wonderful cotton. This is indeed truly a very most historic operation. It's incredibly cool. We probably can't even grasp the scale of how awesome this operation is yet. But these are really, really very, very cool news. So friends, let's keep working, supporting our military, donating for FPVs, because as I said, FPVs can be used for various operations, including sabotage missions. FPVs have enormous development potential. That's it. And also, tonight there will be a very interesting podcast. Watch it at 8 o'clock. I'll be talking with Roman Lozinski. And in the past day, thanks to you, our military has received even more. Let me check, because I've already forgotten. There are so many emotions that it's impossible to remember everything at once. Thanks to you, our soldiers have received another 310 new FPV drones. Together to victory. Glory to Ukraine. So friends, the news is wonderful. The news is festive. I am very happy about such news and urge you on the occasion of this celebration to go ahead and once again contribute to the Ruzoris right now. Support the security and defense forces of Ukraine.